Hey everybody, thanks for joining. My name is Darth Martin, aka Venue Music Playlist. I have a special guest today. I am sitting down with Admonish Music. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, Darth. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on, and I appreciate it, man.
We appreciate you. This is Venue's featured artist of the week. The artist spotlight on his music. La caught our attention, but uh, Exit Plan is on repeat in my car. I know several people who have reached out to me and was like, "Yo, this dude's dope." So, what got you started making such killer music?
Well, I started making music. My household always had music. I'm of Puerto Rican heritage, so my mom and dad. My mom had salsa playing all the time. My dad had doo-wop and 60s soul music going. My sister always sang. She sings beautifully. And one of my favorite uncles, Junior, was absolutely incredible on the bongos and the congas. And all of that, I guess you could say the music was in me. I just never had anybody around me who expressed music. So one day, I was listening to Jimmy from Jungle Brothers, and I know I'm dating myself, but that's all right. Uh, so I was listening to that, and I wrote the lyrics down, right? So when I wrote the lyrics down, I was like, "So this is what rhyming is. Like this is what it is." And the way I am, I've always been good with words. The English language and any language has always been something that I've really been keen into listening and focusing in on. So words always came to me naturally. I always play the rhyme game. I even play the rhyme game when my kids growing up. I would play with them. So I just started writing, and then as I was writing, um, I felt this joy in writing. Right. So my brother Martin Scorsese, as we call him, one day told me that he knew somebody who had a studio in Newark, New Jersey. 40 Deuce, what's going on? I went over there. Even though I wrote the rhymes to Jimmy, I understood the cadence and I understood the rhyme patterns. I still wasn't able to write what was in my head. That part I haven't, like, the words will come to me too fast. So I'm in the studio. My boy 40 Deuce is like, all right, let me see the song. And I'm like, I was supposed to bring a song? Like, I didn't know that. So he's like, oh, but I'm like, no, go in the booth. You play the track. And I actually, for my first song, first time in the studio, I freestyled an entire song. 16 bars, 8 bar hook, 16 second verse, 8 bar outro. And when I came out, he was like, I thought you didn't have a song. I was like, nah, that's all off the head. And he was bugging because he was like, you freestyle two verses and you had the mind capacity to know when the hook was and to do a hook. And you remembered the hook. I was like, I can't explain it to you, but yeah.
Well, you
Yeah, so
remembered it the second time. That's the hard part.
exactly. Exactly. And the funny thing is, after that, it felt amazing what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I know I'm rhyming and hip hop, but the entire situation of being an artist, I didn't know. But the trouble after that day was beats. And he would play beats, and I'd be like, nah. And he'd be like, I was like, I can rhyme to anything. But if nothing's touching me, why am I rhyming on it? So I used to literally bring my records in and be like, yo, sample this guitar, and I want this kick. Oh, you want the drums? No, I want this kick. And on this record, I want that snare. And then I didn't know I was producing at the time.
Piecing it together
So
like a producer.
exactly, exactly. And I would literally sit. He'd be like, "Okay, I got the kick." I'm like, "No, no, no. I need the kick to go boom." You know the I would say the James Brown record. Boom, got the boom, got. He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I need it, but I need it triple times." And he was like, "So you know how to produce?" I'm like, "No, I don't know how to touch the buttons, but I can tell you what I want." But
You hear
eventually
it.
I got an MPC, and I married a Kai because everything I got is a Kai MPC, MPK, and everything. And then I started doing beats on myself by myself and studying, Holland Dozer Holland, Quincy Jones, studying Marvin Gaye and those all these amazing producers. And that's where I got the knack for, like, now I know how to marry music to lyrics, create songs, and now I know how to touch you with what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you have a very polished sound. Like that's very clear. I've listened to Hip Therapy about 1,000 times already. Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
I can tell with the accent. I can tell after listening to it so much what the influences are. How would you describe to somebody that's never heard Admonish? What is your sound?
Okay. It's funny because back in the days, I used to have a hook and reel. And what I mean by that is, people, first of all, the name Admonish Music came about because when I read the dictionary, I knew people wouldn't know what the word was. So to me, it would be like, Admonish, what is that? And then I would tell them to caution, to rebuke. And that was kind of starting to reel in. Oh, okay, that's interesting. You rhyme? Are you good? Are you any good? And I used to be like, no, I'm effing incredible. And they'd be like, oh, really? So I would entice them now to be like, so let me hear something. And so with all of that, I learned basically I was marketing and everything that I was doing. But the way I would describe my music was like one time I was in the studio and one of my brothers, he was listening. He's like, "Yo, simple complexity comes to mind every time I hear you rhyme," and I'm like, "Wow." And he was like, "Because what you write is so simple, but if someone's to dig into your rhymes, they'll hear the complexity." So I would tell somebody my style is simple complexity, peaceful chaos.
I like it. I mean, it's simple, but there's a deeper meaning behind all the simplicity. Let's have a little unbranded water because nothing tastes better than not being sued.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, brother.
Changing gears a little bit, man. Tell me a
Yeah.
little bit how you connect with your fans.
Okay, so first, what I like to believe in when I'm connected with my fans, is the first thing has to be the music. So I can't sell you something you don't feel. I can't sell you something that doesn't touch you. So if at first the product isn't to the best of my feelings, not even to my ability, to my feelings, there's nothing to connect with. So after I do the music, then it's how do I relate to the individuals who's listening to my music. I know my music won't ever sell. I know one album won't ever sell to 7 billion people because 7 billion people can't come together on the same concept. But that's the beauty of the world. So I know there are people out there who like the sound that I have because I like the sound that I have. And I know there's a few amount of people who like what I like. So they'll like the slang in it, they'll like the lyrics, and so I focus solely on what I call the core audience. Now, yes, I do want the world to hear me, but if I don't have a core, there'll never be any external outlets to anybody else listening. So, you know, the way I get to my core, I try to tell a certain story, and I make sure that story is real to me. So, I'm also a creative consultant, so I tell all my clients, if you're not you, then who are they attaching to? And if they attach themselves to you, you would never know because you're not being you. So I try to stick to my core audience and I understand why they're my core audience. And then when I do that, I tell the story to them that is wholeheartedly me. And hopefully that's some more glue, more adhesive to keep them stuck on what we're doing. And then I have them, I everything that I use, social media and our DSPs to me are social media platforms also because they hardly pay us a penny. But so with that, I use them as a funnel to bring them into my website. My website is my store. And that's where I want to have people engage with me. Tell me they like my music. Tell me they don't like my music. Tell me why they don't like it. Tell me if they like the clothes or don't like the clothes. So what I do is I funnel everybody through even.biz.com. That's a direct to consumer website that allows me to put a price on an album or a single, and you could pay whatever you want though. Hit therapy is $10. And I've got people who pay $100, $250, $10. So I'm grateful for any and everybody. This platform also allows you, once you purchase the album, to have direct access to me, so we can communicate. And all it is funnels right back into that admonishmusic.com website. where you have direct access to me. And with that, I encourage everybody, send me a message, let me know. You can buy stuff off the website. You can get information off the website about me and what's going on, how I feel, and I always answer back.
I mean, that's a really smart way to go about it. You're clearly good at the business of music, and I think that's something that's missing with a lot of younger artists. When you talk about connecting with your fans, like for me personally, I guess I would probably be like a tertiary fan because my genre, like I'm an old metalhead, you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But now that I've, connected with you, I'm in that core group too, man. So you've got a way of reaching people that aren't necessarily in the genre and pulling them in and getting that core group built. So really, really wise way to go about music, and your
Thank,
stories do that for you. You have such great stories.
thank you, thank
Let
you.
me ask it like this: if your music were put into stories in movie format, what kind of movie would it be?
Oh, that's a great question. Um, so I think my music is very emotional. So I think some of my music would fit in like a comedy romance, but I see the core of my music really fitting in like a drama and a film that's kind of fast paced. Because I like to believe that when I write, I'm seeing what I'm writing. I'm not just writing. I know a lot of people write and they listen to it. I like to listen back to it, but when everything that I listen to, I see a picture, an image of. So, for instance, like the Lori Jack and Lyman, I can see the person driving while that song is playing. I can see them either being chased or in a hurry to get to a certain spot. And sometimes I got Jet Set, and Jet Set is more Jet Set. It would be on a plane, but the feeling will be more relaxed, more laid back, more of a companion relationship, and more of a celebratory flight. The flight isn't. I just want to go to Italy to go to Italy. The flight is really we struggled. We worked hard to get where we're at, and the fact that we can go to Italy to go to Italy, that's the celebration.
No snakes on that plane.
No, no snakes. Please, no snakes.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking this time to sit down with us. Where can people find you? Reiterate that website one more time for everybody.
So everything social is Admonish Music. On all the DSPs, it's Admonish Music. All social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everything is Admonish Music. Even .biz, Admonish Music. Everything funnels right back to the core website, which is admonishmusic.com. So you can hit me there. We got the merch, the albums for sale. I got music, I got beats on there for sale. So anything, and you can leave a message. There's a messenger component on the website that pops up. You type up in there, and I'm the one who answers. So you can get directly to me.
That's pretty awesome, man. Thank you again for taking the time to sit down with us. I'm Darth Martin, or Venue Music Playlist, if that's how you know me. That has been Admonish Music. It has been a pleasure featuring you all week.
Thank you, Doc. I appreciate you and everybody at venue. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.